Welcome back to NTV Sport Nights, proudly brought to you by DSTV. And in the studio tonight, well, I have someone special. So this is NIKLAS ENANDER. No, you go first.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Eye contact.
Yes, eye contact.
Welcome.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Master NIKLAS ENANDER from Sweden. He has quite a profile. He is the patron of International Taekwondo Federation Uganda. He also is part of the African Taekwondo development team, and he's been with the country, with Uganda, for 10 years, working with us, involved in several development projects. And as you can see on the ground here, I think the producer will zoom in there. We have quite a couple of equipment in the studio that he brings to help the sport grow in the country. And also, he is, well, comes to the country twice a year to ensure that. So you have the gloves there. You have the headgear. This is the headgear.
Yeah, it's headgear.
And then
the gloves. It's looking a lot like boxing material.
Okay.
But we are doing light contact, and if you feel them, it's excellent quality and very, very lightweight, because since we're doing light contact, we don't need to have heavy equipment.
90 fish.
But in spite of this, I brought 96 kilos of equipment this time.
Okay.
2 laptops, 12 smartphones.
What's that? Looks like a racket or something.
Yeah, this is like a kicking pad.
Okay.
So for high kicking and focusing and so on. For punching, we have small targets like boxing, and this is for kicking, because in Taekwondo we use a lot of foot, because the legs are strong and have a lot of reach. And I got the question before, what's the difference between the different martial arts and so on? And judo, everybody knows, because it's an Olympic sport. They are wrestling close. Yeah. And then kung fu, the Chinese, is like they're working half a meter this distance, you know, very close hand techniques. And karate is a little bit more, 1.5 meter, some kicks. But Taekwondo, it's like 2 meters. Kicking, flying kicking, spinning kicking. It's very spectacular.
Okay, wait a minute. What's the difference between what you do and Bruce Lee?
Well, Bruce Lee was the friend of Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris is Taekwondo. So, I'm okay. That's the thing is with martial arts, you know, we are all teaching fighting styles, but we're not fighting, because there's so many kids doing football and other sports, and we want to have them as an alternative. And I say, you know, footballs, they're so expensive, you need shoes. Yeah. In Taekwondo, well, I have my umpire shoes on, but in Taekwondo we are barefooted. And you know, we have gloves when you compete and so on. And then every time I come, I bring donation dough box. This is actually new, but I brought maybe 70 dough boxes of this. Yeah. But the problem is now this is for the kids. That's
for the kids.
Yeah. So the problem is now in ITF Uganda we have 3,000 members. Okay. We have 80 membership clubs. We are over 100 black belts. So it's difficult to bring materials for everybody, that's for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, welcome to Uganda. Of course, you've been here before for 10 years, but I really want to know. You are currently 7th grade. That means you have 7 black belts.
Yes, yes.
The highest is 9.
The highest is 9, yes.
So you're left with 2 to go.
Yeah, there's now 1 7th degree in Africa, in Ethiopia, since April. Okay. So we have the first master in Africa, your own master. But Ethiopia has 1,000 black belts, maybe 50,000 people doing ITF Taekwondo. It's a huge country. But they are smart, you know. They have some clubs there have 500 members. You can imagine having 500 students, each one paying you $1 a week. You're a rich man in Ethiopia if you have that many students, you know. Okay. So
before Makhtum comes in, what brings you to Uganda? What are you doing to Uganda? What are you doing in Uganda?
Well, Uganda is a very good base. I used to say like, no, Uganda is like a Walt Disney film. Everybody speaks English. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I don't speak any Ugandan, even though I've been here for 10 years. But it's a very good base. I go from here to Burundi, to DRC, Goma, to Tanzania, Zanzibar, and with Ugandan Air is expanding, direct flights, Ethiopia, it's very convenient. And now, since ITF is training in the police, I also train in Masindi, the police training school. I go there and train the instructors, and they teach 500 police cadets. Because in ITF, since we're using light contact sparring, using gloves and hand for face, it's very good for self-defense.
Should I be worried if I meet a policeman on the street? Are they good? Are they good?
No.
Yeah, they're not good. So you can take them on.
You don't have to be worried, because they're there for your safety, right?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
The burglars and the robbers, they should be worried, you know. And the police instructors in Masindi is doing a fantastic job. There are like 20 instructors and have 5,000 students, you know. And I teach them, and I always give them as much as I can when I'm there.
Okay.
I did a northern tour now 2 weeks ago, starting with Bombo for the Defense Forces. So now we started training the military also with ITF. And then we continued to Lira, Kitgum, and Gulu, and then we went down to Masindi and trained them.
Is that all part of the work of the ITF Uganda?
ITF Uganda, yeah.
Okay.
So I have a lot of sponsorships. I have actually a competition in Sweden that's called the African Donation Competition. So from every competitor, $5 or euros goes to my effort to develop ITF. And also ITF is paying for my ticket usually, and I'm happy for that, because this year the ticket was 6 million Ugandan shillings to come here, compared to 3,000 last year. So because of Putin's war, the fuel prices is twice the cost.
Twice the cost.
Of course, also COVID has affected things, you know.
Yeah, but in terms of numbers, how have the numbers grown over the last 10 years?
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, when I first came here, I started working with Chairing Taekwondo Club, one of the first Taekwondo clubs here in Uganda. Also, Prison Service is the first. Uganda is actually one of the founding members of the Olympic style, the World Taekwondo Federation. That was founded in 1973, a few years after ITF. We were founded in '66. So we are the original organization. We are more traditional, and we compete in more things. Okay. In Olympic styles, in the Olympics, it's only the fighting. We have the patterns, the kata, they call it in karate. We do power breaking. So with knuckles breaking boards, feet breaking boards, to show the power you have.
Okay. No, not breaking people.
No, because if you know that you will break a board, you won't hit your little sister, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you know that there's a real power you have, you know. And of course for fitness. And, you know, look at me, I'm looking quite old, 58 years old. I am now. But I've been doing Taekwondo for 40 years.
40 years.
40 years, yeah. I started in
and I see your two knuckles over already, the other two. This is scary. So why?
No, because power breaking. Because to break boards, you toughen the equipment, you make push-ups and so on. And also, it's a weapon nobody can take away from you, right? But the most important thing is the mental strength. And you know that with sports, all sports give you the mental strength, the confidence to endure. And what we're giving the kids is very important. We have a kids program in Uganda, and the kids normally don't even pay any training fees. And they learn discipline, physical education, get them off the streets. And of course, we want them, because they are the upcoming athletes, you know. So in my club in Sweden, I teach about 10 classes a week in Sweden. And my Sundays are tough, because I have beginner kids, continuous kids, and advanced kids. I have 3 kids classes in a row, and it could be like 40 kids in a class, you know. But they love it, and they will grow, and that is the basis of our sports, you know.
So you've talked about how kids are taking it up, how the numbers are growing in the last 10 years, but we know that women, for example, are a bit too discharged from
we have
from combat sports.
A problem with that in Uganda because of the patriotic system, where many parents doesn't feel like maybe their girl should be doing Taekwondo.
Yeah, I feel
but I mean, nobody would jump you in the street, right? Because you're a well-built guy, right? But there's so many teenage girls that needs Taekwondo to be able to defend them. And I've been working with the police training center in Kibuli, doing self-defense for women. and they have a special program for that. And it's really amazing what you can do and to empower the women. You know, I'm also working with a group in Kabaile, the Child Hope Restoration group there, with the boxer who won the bronze medal in the African Games in 2019, Helen.
Yeah.
And she's teaching girls to do boxing, and I'm actually going to have a ITF Taekwondo self-defense training with her boxing team. And first time I met her, I got a bit stuck here because 2 weeks ago I was going to
Burundi.
Yeah. Yes, but I got the COVID positive PCR test.
Oh. I hope you tested before you came here.
Yes, yes.
You're negative, right?
I'm negative.
Okay.
So I couldn't go there. And then I was going to Goma, and then they have riots in Goma. Oh, I couldn't go there.
Oh.
So I was thinking, I go to Nairobi instead.
And then?
Plan C. Elections tomorrow. But it gave me time here. So I've been working with the Katanga Child Hope Restoration and acquired actually some financial means for them also. So that is really, really great. And now we've been working with the black belts. You know, we have about 100 black belts now in Uganda. And I have to get my notes. Since we were doing the Northern Tour, we graded 9 black belts on that tour. And then 7 for the first black belt and 2 for the second level. And now in Kampala, last Sunday, we had 14 people.
Though people would want to know, what does it take to become a black belt? Because it's something that you hear often.
The first degree black belt, you need at least 5 years of training.
5 years of training?
Minimum. Normally 6 years. We had 2 girls from Tanzania that came to Uganda to grade because you have to be an international instructor. And my international instructor that I brought to Tanzania in 2019, Gustav, he graded them with another international instructor to their black stripe. And that was 2019. Now they come to Uganda to get the black belt. And also their instructor, he actually went for his 4th degree. So we have now the first international instructor in East Africa, Said Kennedy from Tanzania.
To make it easy, the degree, when you say 4th degree, you mean 4th belt.
4th black, yeah. And you need 5 years to get the 1st degree. Then you need a minimum 1.5, normally 2 years to get the 2nd degree. 2 more years, a third 3 years to 4th, and so on. But most people that I grade here, I've been grading people up north that have graded in the Olympic styles with the Ugandan Taekwondo Federation 1, 2, even 3 times, even paid for the black belt, never received it.
Talking of Olympics,
yeah.
Why don't you have any Ugandan playing Taekwondo?
Because in Olympics, you only have a few weight classes. Okay. You only have 4 players, they say. In ITF, we don't say players. Do you win by chance? No, you win by being prepared, being well trained. We are not players, we are competitors. So they have a few players, only sparring. In ITF, we compete in sparring, in patterns, in power breaking, in special techniques. Put a board 2 meters, 60 centimeters, and shift the board, have to move it, you know? And 5 different techniques you do like that. It's amazing. And then we also have pre-arranged sparring. It could be a guy and a girl, or 2 guys and 2 girls, doing like a matrix show of 1 minute of kicking, spinning, jumping. It's really amazing. So we have all these events and team events. So I was an umpire at the World Cup, and there were 12 rings for 10 days. 2,400 competitors. When Uganda was competing at the World Championships in 2019 in Germany, Bashunju Shadrach was there competing, and Robert Ojambo was the coach. We had 2 people there from Uganda. There was 1,234 competitors. It's an easy number to remember. And I don't know how many countries. I think it was about 54 countries present.
So 2 final questions from me. One is how do all these combat sports relate? And which one would you advise someone that wants to learn something about self-defense to do, for starters? Then the second question is, in a period of 5 years from now, or maybe 10 years from now when you'll be 20 years in this country, how big do you want to see the sport? Where do you want to see? Okay,
for self-defense, of course, I promote ITF Taekwondo. But the important thing is to find a club close to where you live. And now we have 80 Taekwondo clubs in ITF Uganda. We're the biggest martial arts in Uganda. So they should be able to find some club. But find a club close and find a friend to train together with. Because you will push each other, right? And for the development-wise, we would now Uganda.
Because with